is 2008. You're playing the Buccaneers, and you have a receiving touchdown.
Yeah.
And who came up with, who implemented that play? Because I personally don't know Herm Edwards, but I don't know if that's a Herm Edwards type play.
No, that's definitely a Chan Gailey.
Okay.
It was one of those things where I always joked about it. I was like, we got to put a throwback to the quarterback in. And we had started running some of that, some of the Wildcat offense with Jamal Charles.
Right.
We pretty much, during that week, they finally, were like, all right, we're going to put it in. And, it was my job essentially to kind of come off the line and essentially let the DB shoot more or less inside and kind of try to make a play, whatever, on the run game. And then after we had ran 2 plays in the Wildcat, pretty much I had said to Coach Gailey, I was like, they're not respecting me. They're just shooting inside. And sure enough, obviously we ran the play, and actually Jamal kind of almost fumbled the ball, or
fumbled it, yeah.
Pitched it to Bradley, or
Mark Bradley. Yeah.
Mark Bradley. He kind of fumbled the ball. So I think too that kind of what's his name? Barber. Rondé Barber,
Randy Barber
pretty much saw him kind of fumbling the ball, so he took off. And at that point, I pretty much, as soon as he went, I was gone. And when Mark, it was actually funny because the first day on Wednesday of practice that week, I actually dropped the pass or whatever in practice or whatever, and I was just embarrassed at that point. I'm like, there's no way that they're ever going to call it. And obviously, I called it in Fridays, kind of run through practice or whatever. But it was one of those things where it just ended up working out perfect. So that was pretty special moment. I got people that always ask me about that. So that was pretty special for me.
Yeah, a big time touchdown. One of the longest receiving passes out of a quarterback in NFL history. So that's always a good one. I see that on my timeline of the Mark Bradley, almost fumbling it, almost ruining the play, but luckily you caught it. But what was going through your mind as you saw the ball coming towards you? Were you thinking, do not drop this pass?
No, I really wasn't. I was just sitting there thinking this is touchdown, because or more or less I was saying, Mark, don't overthrow me, kind of thing. But I mean, he threw a perfect ball, and I was able to catch it. And honestly, when I caught it, I went running to go into the stands. And this is kind of when the NFL started doing more of a fine system. And I was like, if I jump in the stands, they're going to find me. So I kind of jumped up the stands. And as I'm doing that, I don't want to lose any money. So I've kind of pushed myself back out or whatever, instead of jumping in the stands.